The Omnic Weekly. Welcome everyone, it is Sunday, October 20th, and this is episode 182 of the Omnic Weekly. Let me turn my camera a little bit. There we go. It was too much of the wall. I am D, and this week I'm joined by Frozen.
Hello.
Hey Frozen. Yeah, it's just the two of us again, but we're going to try and get more people on, so at least there's always 3 people talking, 4 people talking, maybe even. But how you doing, Frozen?
Good, I was productive today actually. I'm still tired, but not as tired as usually.
Okay, Scorpio's going to be happy to hear that.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Tired as always, but that doesn't matter. We just keep going. We go on and on and on and on. Like that little, little bunny in the advertisement. Is it the Energizer bunny? Over here in Europe, it's the Duracell bunny, I think, right? And in the
it's Duracell.
Yeah, and in the States they call him the Energizer bunny, which is basically the same brand. Anyways, I'm digressing, but other than that, I'm doing good. It has been an eventful 2 weeks, especially in Overwatch, and this is still an Overwatch podcast, so we're going to focus on that. Season 13 was kicked off last Tuesday. It's kind of crazy that we're already at season 13.
It is insane.
It's crazy how fast time just flies.
I can still hear us theorizing about season 6.
Yeah.
And now it's season 13. It's crazy.
It is insane. It just kind of flies by. I also feel like I didn't get to do enough in season 12. I barely made it. I barely completed my battle pass actually on one of my accounts. It was
That's crazy.
A few days before the end. But I have been traveling in September, so that was one of the reasons why I didn't. I lost like 2 weeks that I didn't play any games, and just in general, I've been very busy, especially now that I don't stream anymore in the evenings and stream in the mornings. Wait, let me turn on my light for the people that watch the video so they see what kind of podcast this is. There we go, Overwatch podcast.
Nice.
I get less playtime in than I used to because I don't stream in the evenings anymore. I stream shorter in the mornings now, and I sometimes stream other games. So that has been kind of chopping into my Overwatch time in general. But how have you been enjoying season 13?
I have to say, I've been mostly playing the Halloween mode because I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
I tried out all the different characters, like DPS, tank, support, and everything. There's just so much to figure out and see because, in one round, you don't get every optimization option.
No.
For the characters.
No.
So it's it has a lot of replayability. I think I've have 1 or 2 games of quick play so far this season. Everything else has been arcade, which is kind of crazy. That never happens. Yeah,
I've done a few games of comp on one of my accounts. But most of it has been the arcade mode too, and like you said, there's so much randomness to it right now. But it's just also, in my opinion, and I have a whole video about that is coming out later tonight for if you're watching and listening to this and you're not on Patreon, it happened yesterday because it's Sunday evening, and I'm going to be releasing it right after the podcast, after we record the podcast rather. I think it's just because it's kind of quick play plus, because it adds something. Yeah, the roster is kind of limited. The choices that you get are a little outlandish. They're kind of out there in some cases. Like you said, you don't get every single option, but the options that are the rarest are the craziest, like the Shotgun Diva, the Lava Reinhardt.
Explosive kunai.
Yeah, explode. You can have a triple kunai knife that explodes. You basically lay waste on the enemy team within seconds.
It's crazy.
It is insane. But yeah, I've been spending a lot of time in that. But we're going to come back to the Halloween mode and all of that in a second. Maybe let's just look at all the other content that we got this season. We got a new battle pass with, in my opinion, quite a few thematical skins. I mean, overall, when it comes to battle passes tying into a theme, I think they did a pretty good job tying in all of these skins into a sort of central theme.
I mean, there's one skin, of course, that I have very dear to my heart, and that's the Ana skin. But hands down, I think that's one of the best Ana skins we've ever seen.
The Bog Witch.
The amount of detail and lights that you have on there with her head and the mushrooms everywhere. is insane. And like tying into this like magical wits thing, you have like the little like gnome or like dwarven Torbjorn,
Yeah, he's funny.
which is amazing. Like you have like funny, but also just like theatrical and like beautiful skins with it. I like the battle pass this season. No, I can't say that.
I think the gnome Tourbillon is going to lend itself for a lot of recolors. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah.
It has a lot of little fantastical elements to it that are just screaming for recolors. If you had to describe the Ana skin in 2 words.
Mythical and...
Do you think it's better than the Mythic?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
No.
I agree.
It is better than the Mythic. Mythical and mystical, probably.
Mystical, okay.
Yeah, I would probably describe it best.
For people that haven't seen it, it's called the Bog Witch. It's basically...
It's a hag skin. She's a hag. It's beautiful.
A swamp witch, like with all these nature elements to it. I love the highlight intros and the emotes that they tied into it. She's kind of steering in this huge cauldron.
I love that they're still doing skins because this skin actually fits perfect with one of Reinhardt's skins, like the overgrown one.
And with the Orisa one, yeah.
Exactly, and the Rissa one as well. Like they still do skins that kind of fit with old ones, which is kind of cool. But like also the epic Reaper one that he has with like the horns, with like little like antlers.
Yeah, that's the whole theme of the season. Is like they announced it as witches and wizards. I don't think there's a single wizard in the whole season up till now.
I have the only thing I've seen like that I noticed pop culture wise was maybe the little weapon charm that they had, which was what is it called in English? It's called Alraune. It's like a magical like plant from Harry Potter.
Oh, the root plant.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mandrake.
That screams at you. Yeah, that screams at you.
Yeah, that is the Harry Potter like thing that is in there. Although some people pointed out at me like Mandrake does exist in other. Yeah, but Harry Potter made it into something that is more pop culture, more of a pop culture reference, like you said. Yeah, but I mean, there's like not a single there's no Gandalf type. There's no single wizard in there. There's no one hero that kind of. There are quite a few witches.
It's weird that it's called witches and like they had announced it as witches and wizards, and we have no wizards.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of a fairy tale magical theme, so to speak. I think that is basically more the theme. But they did a pretty good job overall. The one skin when it comes to all the witches skins that kind of, I don't know what to think about is the Junker Queen skin. It just looks like, I don't know.
I just don't like green. That's probably the thing. Like, it's just the bright green is not my thing. Like I like muted greens or like foresty greens.
But like just like character-wise, it doesn't fit her exactly. Like it's like I don't know, clashes. Yeah,
she'd be something else, but she's not a witch. She would also be like a swamp creature.
I think she would have made better into something different. I don't know. It's kind of weird to see her as a witch. I mean. We got the Kiriko recolor. There's a Mercy recolor. A lot of recolors this season in the shop, which some people have something to say about. My opinion is, look, I'm not against recolors per se. I think some of them are actually better than the originals. But I do think if they do recolors and they put them in the shop, who cares? Because if you don't like them, don't buy them. Like if they put them in the battle pass, they kind of force you down your throat, but.
It's funny how they just put cats everywhere. They're like, what is with witches? Like, owls, no, we have that. What do we put everywhere? Cats, black cats. It's just everywhere.
There's literally like black cats in about every hero pose or victory pose. It's just all over the place, and they all look so sassy. All these cats look either bored or sassy. I don't know which of the two it is. But
Both.
They definitely have a look to them. It makes sense. While we're talking about recolors, that just kind of quickly popped in my mind, but I'm kind of curious because we have not talked about this, even not off air, so to speak. The aspects. What is your opinion on the whole thing with the aspects?
The concept is cool. That you can have like different color variations for the mythic skins that exists. I like that. The price tag attached to it is what I don't like.
Yeah, exactly. Let me quickly explain for the people that have not seen it, that don't play Overwatch or something anymore. Basically, they released a new Mythic cosmetic that is a gold and black recolor. The aspects they're going to be different aspects. This first one is gold to gilded aspect, and it basically adds a gold and black palette to your mythic skin, and they look pretty impressive. They are beautiful. They are really nice. They did more than just kind of repaint them. They added they recolored the effects and whatnot, and there is a lot of shine. It's basically like a golden weapon for your mythic skin, like combined with the black. And I do think indeed it is quite an interesting concept. The one thing that really bothers me though is indeed the price. The fact that you need to have all the tiers of your mythic skin unlocked to use them. So basically, if this is just an extra reward, something to spend your mythic prisms on, because in my case, on one of my accounts, I'm sitting on 210 mythic prisms because I did not buy the Mercy skin, I did not buy the Reaper skin, I'm not planning on buying the Widowmaker skin because I don't play those heroes. So that makes my choice pretty easy. I've been buying the golden weapons, the mythic weapon skins, but that's been it. They give you the opportunity or they give you the chance to buy something different, but then they kind of push you in a certain direction where you need to have 4 of these unlocked. It just becomes this kind of greedy sales trick, which it is.
Why not give the skin that you buy the same? Like if you have level 2, you just get the level 2 like skin, or like you only unlock the things to level 2, because I mean they recolored everything. Of course they recolor everything, like the effects and everything. But if you don't have the effect, it's not going to show. Isn't that fine?
Yeah, exactly. I think it should be enough to kind of just have the skin unlocked. And if you want to sacrifice 20 of your mythic prisms just to get the black and gold recolor on a skin that you have not unlocked completely, that should be your choice. At that point, it becomes a way of spending your mythic prisms that you have earned over all the seasons. I still very heavily advise against buying mythic prisms. I don't think there's any reason for anybody to buy mythic prisms, because if you can't get both the skin and the weapon this season, there's going to be a season where there's a skin that you don't care about. You don't need to go for everything. That is insanity. Just make a choice. Yeah, just make a choice. It's possible. Like I said, most of my accounts, I have over 100 mythic prisms who have not completed my battle pass, so I'll definitely by the end have enough for 2 skins.
I mean, I'm not sitting on any mythic prisms, but that was just because the Reaper skin last season just spoke to me so much, even though I don't play him. I started playing him more now,
because
like also due to the Shigaraki skin, not gonna lie. But in general, like I didn't get the Ash skin. I play her a lot. I just didn't like it.
Yeah.
So
I bought the Ash skin. I like that one.
I bought the Ana with a mythic weapon instead for that.
Yeah. I seem to have, I've said this before, I seem to prefer the mythic weapon skins above anything else because they change your experience in game way more than a mythic skin does, and I think that is just exactly why I'm drawn to them. Now, you were talking about the what Reaper skin thing, Micha what?
Shigaraki.
Yeah, but that's a nice segue into the collaboration that we got for this season. So 2 days after the season started, the My Hero Academia collab started, which had 5 skins. All Might Reinhardt. Wait, let me try and think.
Okay.
No, wait. Let me at least try and get one more out. Deku Tracer, and then Uravity, Juno. All the rest I can't pronounce for shit, so I'm going to leave that to you.
Yeah, so we have All Might, we have Deku, we have Shigaraki, we have Toga, and we have Uravity. Like Urarara, it's her name, but it's Uravity, it's her hero name.
Yeah.
It's I like them. I like them a lot.
You're a big fan of My Hero Academia, right?
Yeah. No, I watched it. Like I binge watched the first 3 seasons with a friend, like during COVID, and like both movies in like a week, I think. And I still have to catch up on some of the newer stuff, but I have like 2 statues back there, one of Shigaraki and one of
Oh, now I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I don't mention it. It's okay.
She forgot what the name was of the character.
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay. We don't talk about it.
But there's a lot of characters. To be fair, like I've not watched one single episode. I just did some research when I had to post about it, and I noticed like the list of characters in that anime is crazy. It's about a school,
It is.
basically, right?
Exactly. So you have a class of people, or like a class full of students, and they all have like something called quirks. That's basically special abilities, like
Superpowers, yeah.
not superpowers,
Yeah.
exactly. And there's like 80% of the population is born with quirks, and 20% is born without quirks. It's like a mutational thing that happened at some point in that society. So you kind of get bullied if you don't have a quirk. Like quirkless is kind of like an insult. And it is funny because like Deku was originally like kind of born without a quirk, and he just obtained it later through All Might.
Okay.
It's like his power. Like for example, like so, All Might's quirk, what he has is called One for All. Like there's a whole history behind that quirk. There's also like an opposing quirk called All for One, basically, where he like takes quirk from others and can give them to other people.
Okay.
And One for All is basically a quirk where you can transfer your like ability to store power to other people as well. So like that quirk has been given like on and on from generation to generation, because like you can store power and like can get more powerful. You can like absorb and store quirks, and like that accumulates at some point. And it's a really powerful quirk to have.
Oh, yeah, it's
And All
basically
Might-
the wish for all the like if you did a wish, you have 3 wishes, and your first wish is I want a million wishes. That's basically it, right?
Basically, Deku at the beginning just like on the regular just breaks all of his limbs because like his powers are so strong he can't handle it, basically.
Okay.
And I like it. It's cool.
And the Kiriko character and the Reaper
So,
character,
yeah.
they are villains.
Yeah, they're villains. Like Kiriko, she has like a blood quirk. She can basically like if she has the blood of someone, she can turn into that person
She's
for
a
a short
vampire.
period of time.
Identity vampire.
Yeah, it's Identity Vampire. And Shigaraki, he's has a bit of a sad story because basically he turns everything to dust that he touches with his like whole hand. That's why you always see him wear like kind of gloves that have like 2 fingers at least covered.
Okay.
So he like doesn't turn them into dust. But like he wasn't originally like gonna be a villain, but like he has something people call a villain quirk, or like a power that people considered like villains have. So he got treated like that for his entire life, and he basically turned into a villain because of that.
Oh damn! There are some
It's-
morally,
There's
moral
like a whole
stories in there.
sociological like
Yeah.
stories in that anime.
Damn. And are they in a competing school?
No,
Villains?
so you have that school.
I'm making it into a school
My Hero
battle.
Academia. You know, like they have that school that's in Japan. You have multiple schools around the globe, of course, because it's a global thing. But that school specifically is in Japan. It's like it's the best school for like trying to be a hero, and like they will have like these hero classes, and they will train these young people to like become heroes at some point. Like
It's like
professional heroes.
Hogwarts.
And the villains are more like have their own shit going on. They just interfere with the school a lot because All Might, like the big hero, the one everyone is out for, is at that school trying to like teach Deku how to deal with that power and how to control it and how to like make things better.
Is he the principal?
No, the principal is a little rat or hamster
What?
with intelligence.
Back in my day, they didn't do that. They didn't make like a principal the leader or the boss of like a group of turtles or anything. They didn't do that.
He's intelligent. It's fine.
Master Splinter. Okay.
I mean, that's why like I had like a talk with people. Like there are a lot of characters. You had a plethora of characters to choose from for this collab because there are just so many. Because like half of the class are basically main characters. A lot of the villains like show up a lot. There's just a lot of people, and I'm kind of surprised about some things. I'm not surprised about Deku. Like he's of course one of the main characters. Like I'm kind of surprised they didn't put like Bakugo in there because he has been like a fan favorite since season 1. Like Bakugo is basically like kind of the bully of Deku. He used to bully him a lot, and now he's like was like the direct opposite or opposing person in classroom who would always challenge him, who wouldn't like him, and stuff like that. And he's been a fan favorite for a very long time. So I kind of he has like explosive powers too. Like a Junkrat Bakugo skin would go very hard.
Yeah, maybe there's they probably have a concept somewhere. I know that when they do these collabs, they always have a huge list of possibilities, and then it just becomes a matter of making a choice, I guess. And generally, they do go for the most popular characters. That is usually the thing. There's like one or two that might be, but they do try to hit the big ones every single time, like we've seen with the Transformers.
I mean, like, for example, like a Darby Reaper would have also just gone hard. Like, Darby is basically a character. He has like very strong fire powers, and he like gets eaten away by how strong his powers are. Like, he has like things around his eyes where like things slowly burn away, like around his hands, and that aesthetic, that whole dark blue fire aesthetic, would have like either fit very well for Reaper or like one of the Shimaras, I think. Like that like whole set, because you have a lot of good dark aesthetics that fit a lot of the Overwatch characters as well. And I'm also kind of surprised they didn't choose Deku for Venture. Because there's a very popular discussion in the community that some people theorize that Deku may be either like non-binary or trans at some point. Of course, actually, it's not that, but he has like very androgynous features about him.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like in general, I think like, of course, Tracer was the popular like choice. Like, why not give it to Tracer? But Venture would have fit very well as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, well, we're not going to give Venture skin, are we? That's what they said.
No.
And then they just ended that discussion.
And what game are we? Venture skin?
But I, like I said, I'm not familiar with the anime. I'm not familiar with any anime. I've talked about this before. I never watch any. I watched a few episodes of Cowboy Bebop when the thing came out, and I enjoyed it, but it was not. I mean, I don't know. It's just not my thing. That is. Some people like anime. A lot of people like anime. It's just not my thing. It's not like how do you say that? Like I hate it or I detest it. No, it's just not. I don't care about it. But happy for the people that do. I know you were very enthusiastic. I could notice that.
I was.
As you guys have noticed, once the My Hero Academia title falls, Frozen just worked.
Yeah, no.
All the deeds.
Anyone who like has ideas on like what other skins you want like the heroes to see, you can write that in the comments. I'm definitely gonna like read through that and like probably answer you too.
She was discussing with people on my stream.
I was like, Recovery Girl Anna would have been amazing.
I have no idea what that means, but there you go.
The little old lady who kisses people for them to
get
better.
Yeah, you talked about that. Yeah.
I guess so. If you have any
Slightly
ideas,
troubling.
I'm gonna read those comments definitely, and you might get an answer.
You might get an answer. Trust me, you're going to get an answer.
Yeah.
I would be very surprised if you didn't. But yeah, that's the collab for this season. It's kind of interesting that they kind of pushed that collab out so soon, just a few days after release. That makes me think and feel that something more might be coming. There is one thing that is definitely coming, and I think this is going to be a short season. I think this season is going to end somewhere the second week of December, so it's only going to be 8 weeks. It's going to be over before we know it. I think they want to squeeze in an extra season right before New Year's, give it enough time before they go on holidays to kind of make sure that it runs smoothly, that most of the bugs are out. So that is why I think all the content in there is kind of squeezed together. The mid-season update is already going to drop in 3 weeks.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's very soon. And then right after that mid-season update, we're probably going to get a test event for the next Tank Hero, which I've been making a shit ton of videos about because there's so much kind of, in case you missed it, there's so much happening. But for one, at the end of the trailer, of course, we talked about that last episode. They showed off this little teaser showing Oasis with the black goo orb that I've been shooting for the last 6 years since Oasis was released, repeatedly when I'm in that spawn room. Has disappeared. It was stolen. And
now they have all your bullets.
They have all my bullets that I've been shooting in there, and trust me, that's a lot. All of the walls are plastered in these graffiti pieces, holographic graffiti pieces that are pointing at a group called Freaks. And there's like purple crystals all over the place. So that was the little thing that we saw first. Then the moment the season released, we actually got to see the spawn room itself. It was slightly different. There were more sprays, more interesting sprays actually to look at.
It's cool how they actually move.
Yeah, they're
like
holographic. They're not made with, which is kind of funny because they look like they've been painting on, They even have drips of paint, but they're actually holographic.
It is the paint of the future. What do you mean?
Exactly, yeah. It's Levi's going bananas. Levi's sponsors. I don't know. No, not necessary. But imagine that. This episode is sponsored by Levi's. We don't have holographic paint yet, but we're working on it.
Wait, let me cover up my drink.
Yeah. Exactly. She's drinking Levi's paint right now. That's why. But one interesting thing is that on the Canadian map and the Toronto map, the name of the actual map now is New Queen Street, also has one of the spawn rooms, one of the forward spawn rooms that is used very lightly, so to speak, is also plastered in these sprays, but it seems that they did that more of a decorating their own kind of a bar thing, that seems to be a place where they come to rest. It's not like they stole anything from there. They didn't trash the place. This is where they hang and they play darts, basically. So a lot has been happening. People have been theorizing. There is lore in Oasis about the orb. That orb is not a ferrofluid. It is an isotope, and the name kind of escapes me. I read the name. I'm such a dyslexic ass. I read the name in the translations that someone on Twitter made. I credited them in the video. Go check it out. I read it, and out of my mouth came a completely different word. It just started with the letter VA, and that was about it. All the rest was completely different. So when I was editing the video, I was like, what? Why the hell do I say something completely different? Because I'm dyslexic.
Oh, no. Beautiful. Wow, that's what happens.
Yeah, I just put something over it. It's kind of correcting myself. But anyways, that thing seems to be something new that was discovered by the Wayfinders. So that's the group that Venture hails from. And they sent it off to Oasis because they had no use for it. Mora got her hands on it because the people that were supposed to receive it were investigating an earthquake. Such a weird plot twist, actually. It's like...
It is, like, honestly, it could happen in real life like that. Like,
of
that's
course.
Something that
all these delivery companies just fail to deliver at the right house or at the right time. It's just become a thing. And they deliver it to the wrong place. Well, no, not really. Mora said, okay, put it in my lab. I'll hold on to it. Of course, she started messing with it. So my latest theory is, I made a whole video about it. Go check it out on YouTube. Is that they are mutants. And that the next hero is going to be one of those mutants. There's a whole story behind that. But we're going to test that hero most likely. I kept saying the second week of December, but by then the season is going to be over. So I think it's going to be more the end of November. We're going to be able to test that hero and yeah, see what they're all about. This tank hero, which has a Scottish accent that we know.
I love that so much. Like I watched the trailer for like, and then you had like freaks and everything in there. And like, I know the old like concept arts and everything of Project Titan. And like, I wasn't there at the beginning of Overwatch, but like I immediately noticed it. I was like, oh, I know that from somewhere. And then I looked it up because I saw a lot of people like, how do you guys know that? And like, if you like just are involved with it so much, at some point you just see things and just recognize it immediately, especially when they use old stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. There was one concept art that had a guy with the name Freaks on his back, kind of fighting with the police in Paris. But I think it kind of evolved from that. I really think, in my opinion at least, that they're really going to be this group of creatures that she tested on, and that we're going to see.
You also have that like that hero art that like from his face with the hair.
Yeah.
Also, it was like more greenish, but I think we're gonna get a very like neon, like hero, and they're like very neon, very in your face, and I'm excited for that. Especially that's gonna be a tank.
Especially with the Scottish accent. Sorry, but anybody that's in my face and that has a Scottish accent is completely forgiven. If you're Scottish and you walk up to me, you're really in my face, I'll forgive you just because of your accent. Because that's just, you're Scottish.
Just makes you a nice person immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, I do have an appreciation for the Scottish people. I don't know why. I've worked with a few of them and they were always very funny. Scottish people are they have a really good sense of humor. They're really dry, kind of, they don't give a shit.
The good no, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's like my humor, exactly.
Yeah, same for me. So, but anyways, so that is happening. I think we're going to get more of a teaser in the mid-season update. So keep an eye on my channel. I'm definitely going to be making a video on that, if that should happen. And then my guess is on November 22nd, the grand finals of the OWCS are happening in Stockholm on DreamHack. And I think the moment that they start those grand finals, they're going to invite Aaron at the table. And Aaron is going to say, we got something for you. And they're going to show off a trailer for the new hero. That is almost exactly what I think is going to happen. And then they're going to say, and this hero will be available right now. And now then everybody's going to stop watching the OWCS finals. And everybody's going to piss off and play that hero. And I'm going to be making a video.
They did it once before with manga.
With manga, yeah. During BlizzCon, they did the same thing. So it's not smart, but it is spectacular. It's the way to do it.
It stays in people's minds.
Yeah. I just think that the people at OWCS are going to be like, come on, guys. You need to do that.
Not again.
But that was with the World Cup. That was different. And that was BlizzCon, so... Actually,
I guess.
Come to think of it, around this time, I would be slowly starting to start packing for BlizzCon. Well, not yet. Maybe next week.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but it's not happening this year, so...
I mean, they had cool stuff at Gamescom. Like, really cool stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. My trip to BlizzCon was more... Like, I love BlizzCon. Enjoyed the heck out of it every single time I've been there. But it was also a moment for me to kind of... charged my vitamin C and vitamin D before I had to enter the Belgian winter.
I get that.
Yeah. So kind of sad that I don't get to do that. My week in LA was always it was a good moment to kind of charge the batteries right before the whole cold winter started. But I'll find other ways. I'll just sit in front of my PC. That is like sunlight, isn't it?
Can you get like one of those UV lamps that like imitate sunlight and like put there and like get a sunburn?
Oh God. I just need to move. I think that is the way forward. But anyways, let's get back to the Halloween event. So yeah, at the start of the season, the Halloween event started. I'm going to be very blunt here. There is no Halloween event.
Yeah.
This whole PvP mode, I love it to death. But the link with Halloween is so... feeble, it's so small, it's so insignificant.
You have the same commentator as the other Halloween mode.
It's Reinhardt just yapping.
It's Reinhardt.
But it's his alter ego, the Lord of what is it called again? That little village,
Adlersbrunn.
Adlersbrunn, yeah. Eagle's Nest is right, or Adler, yeah, no.
Eagle's Nest, yeah.
Eagle's Nest, yeah. The eagle is,
or like Eagle's like Brunnen. It's like Eagle's Well.
Okay, wow. And there are pumpkins on some of the maps, but on other maps there's not. And the skins,
I wish they would have added
they
another Halloween fight map like properly.
Yeah, that would have been nice, but
like more Halloween maps.
I have a theory, Frozen. I have a theory. I think they're working on something huge, and I think they're preparing for something big.
I hope so.
It is going to take another few months, but for one, I've talked about this in that video that is coming up. So if you want to hear everything about it,
watch that.
Yeah. But there have been indicators that show that they're working on something really big. They're hiring people to kind of help promote that thing. And I think the whole talents thing is going to be tied into that. And I think what they're doing right now with the Halloween event, why it is that they're doing this right now, is to do a test run of what they are working on. What we're seeing right now is the limited set of heroes that we're seeing is them testing it. And they added some crazy elements to it to make it a little more festive.
I mean, you can already see things that we already saw in the April Fool's mode, like the flying Orisa. Like we're already seeing things they already tested on us, just like in a different context this time.
Yeah, and with the quick play hack that they did with the pickable passives, which is still the most funny name they've ever had for a quick play hack. Pickable passives.
Pickable passives, yeah.
It's like it's not even a tongue twister. It's a tongue twister. I can't say it 3 times in a row, I think. Pickable passives, pickable passives, pickable passives. Oh yeah, there we go.
You sound very funny during that.
Yeah, it really sounds like a really hotsy-totsy British. Pickable passives, pickable passives. Harry Potter, Peter Parker. Peter Parker. It has that same kind of
I think it's the P's, yeah.
The P. Pickable passives.
Don't say PP, please, on the podcast.
If there's any place I can say that, then it's on the podcast.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is my podcast. I get to say what I want.
Yeah, no, I can say whatever I want on the podcast. Yeah. Nobody cares. Except this is going to YouTube, so I need to be careful.
God damn it.
But yeah, I think this is one of the most fun things they've ever done. I did a poll, as I often do, and I asked my followers on Instagram, Twitter, I'm thinking Threads and Blue Sky, because I'm going to be honest, guys. If I had the choice, I would close down my Twitter. I'm kind of done with that platform.
And migrate to Blue Sky, yeah.
But I've been posting on Blue Sky, and just to squeeze that in, I don't know if you noticed that, but like on Blue Sky, I have like at this point with the Omnic post 150 followers, and on Twitter I have like 15,000 or something, which is a huge difference. But the interaction rate percentily compared,
there's just less bots and like engagement bait, and there's more community
they're
out
not
there.
there's community, but they're not gating your content. What Twitter does is they'll try to squeeze you. They will gate your content. If you don't pay for them to push your content, it will not go anywhere, unless you have a big good account. Like I kind of am in that situation on Instagram where I have a big account and my content will always be served to people within that interest group. But they don't kind of do that same thing. They just kind of keep it open, and it's like Twitter used to be, and it's been, and people are switching
that as well.
really.
Like people are finding my stuff that I post. It's insane.
You get a
Like,
voice again instead of.
Like I'm posting something, and like I don't have a lot of people following me, but like I see new people like liking my stuff, and I'm like, huh, interesting. I'm not used to that.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to find me, the Omnic Post, Damesies, and Geek and Plunder are all, and so is Frozen, by the way. Frozen is also on Blue Sky. She sent me a message like, "What is that Blue Sky stuff about?" Like just out of the blue.
I wanted the intel.
Not even like, "Hi D, how you doing?" Hey, jackass, you're fart. Tell me, what's that Blue Sky stuff about? You're the young one. I could be your dad. You shouldn't be explaining it to me. Anyways, it's like an alternative to Twitter. It's made by the guy that made Twitter, but then he pissed off, and it's more healthy. It's more open. It's friendly.
It's been nice there. I like it so far.
I don't get an answer on that. I do this whole explanation. No answer. The next day, I made an account. Okay. I get the message. I'll follow you, Frozen. I'll follow you. Jesus, these Germans, man.
So
The efficiency with these Germans, even in their social life and in the way that they communicate, is strictly business, okay? Explain it to me. Thank you. No, not even a thank you. Explain it to me. I'll make an account and I'll tell you about it. Make sure to follow me, you dumbass. That was basically it.
Thank you so much. I love you.
It was so funny. And I'm always over-explaining, so I'm like, okay, but Frozen.
I got like walls of text for like explaining. I was like, yeah, okay.
I was going to say something in German, but I don't know what to say. She said something like richtig or something like that. Einfahrt.
Einfach.
I don't know. That was a stupid joke I made on Discord this week.
Oh my god.
I even got Scorpio to facepalm, so that was really good. But anyways, I don't even know how we got there.
I don't know.
What did I do? I was talking about something that I was posting on all these platforms.
I don't remember.
No, me neither. Oh shit. Well, guys, all these platforms. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't. What were we talking?
Follow the.
What were we talking about? We were talking about the new hero, and then I said something about. I'll post it to. Oh, the poll. Oh, there we go.
The poll.
Yeah, I'll do these polls on all these platforms, and overall, the approval rating of the new mode. So the options were: I loved it, it's okay, or I hate it, basically. And overall, on all the platforms, YouTube including, and that's, I mean, over all my platforms together, there's like, I think 6,000 to 8,000 votes. Only like 14% hated it, which is, at this point, anything you do in Overwatch that only gets 14% hate is a miracle. Like, the hate, like people just like to hate. Sometimes people even comment to my comment. I love you guys. I love you to death. But sometimes people come into my comments to complain about something that is in no way related to that video. That's like you walking into a shoe store and going like, "Hey, the bacon in the butchery next door sucks. Goodbye."
It's rancid. Okay.
What? I'm selling shoes. All right. Bye bye.
You want to put bacon on your shoes?
Well, technically,
Well, technically, yeah, different part of the peak.
Yeah, but at some point they were connected to each other. They just
That's
kind of
true.
separate.
That's true.
Anyways, I don't know where we're going with this. So what I've noticed is like 50% said 40 to 50%, depending on the platform, was like, I love it, which is what? And the people that are coming out that they're loving anything in Overwatch.
Yeah. No, I like even the few people I met recently who like stopped playing Overwatch actually picked it up this season to like try out this like thing. Like I met a few people like I haven't not been playing for a few seasons, and I have like now have been playing again this season, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah. I think they're onto something. And if my prediction is correct, we're going to see this as a new... I'm not saying they're going to push this on us in quick play. What I'm saying is that they're going to make a separate, within both competitive and unranked, we're going to see a separate card that is going to be tied into that. I don't know what you're going to call it. And they need to do a lot of changes. There's stuff that is not going to work. For instance, they need to find a way that you can switch heroes. In the Halloween mode, you cannot switch heroes. It's one of the most frustrating things about that whole mode. The fact that it's an arcade mode makes me go, don't care that much, really. You know, this is arcade. It's fine. If they would do that in unranked or ranked, I would be pissed off. Because for me, I think there's no place for a universe where Overwatch is Counterwatch, but there's also another place where you can't switch your heroes. Paladins did that, and that's one of the reasons I stopped playing Paladins is because you'll start out with a choice, and if you made the wrong choice and your hero is not working out in your own group, okay, that's on you because you can still switch till the end. But versus the other team, you're basically screwed. You're kind of stuck in this situation where you need to make. It adds this kind of gambling aspect to it that I don't enjoy. I do think that we need to move to a situation where counter swapping is limited, where you need to earn tokens, for instance, that allow you to swap. I think that is going to be a future that we need to prepare ourselves for. And to be fair, the first time I heard it, it was like, are you crazy? And now I'm starting to think, might not be a bad idea. I think yesterday I was playing a game where the tanks were just doing the routine. They were just going over all the counter swaps that you can think of. Like they were following a scenario. And it just ruined the experience for everybody. It just became this kind of stalemate, kind of boring crap ass game. So, but it will help with the talent system because if I don't know if you had to backfill a game, and
I had to, yeah.
It's one of the worst experience ever because they just I don't know what they do.
They give you random things like you have skills, but it's like random.
Yeah, I don't know if it's completely random because I had a situation where I was playing Ash in one game, I backfilled in the next, and for some reason they had given me the cards that I had picked myself in the previous Ash game. That might have been completely coincidental, or it might have been that they looked like, oh, you played Ash in the previous round, that they kind of remember what you did last with that hero, and that which is smart. If they remember what you did last time with that hero, they kind of try to emulate that and give you those cards.
I mean, that is smart because it just like makes the experience better for you if you have to backfill a game. Because if you get like random cards that you can't do anything with. I mean, everyone has their preferences.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck if you just suddenly get something else completely.
Especially on support or on tank. Like you could, the Frozen gave that example earlier where you could go triple kunai explosive with Kiriko, which is DPS heavy. But there's also a few talents with Kiriko where you heal if you teleport to a group of people. You'll heal everybody around you.
I use that so much.
Me too. There's like Zenyatta has this thing where his ult will last for 3 seconds longer. At first I was like, this is like the most useless card, but I didn't have another option. I picked it. It turned out to be super strong because 3 seconds extra was just, I keep floating around going, shit, is this never going to end? What the hell? I was starting to get worried. I was stuck in that way.
Fun with Mercy, you can like elongate her Valkyrie, and then you can also make it so your staff heals 20 targets under 50% health 25% more, which is insane when you're in Valkyrie.
Yeah,
and now like Valkyrie lasts longer. That's crazy.
And the fun thing is that all sounds crazy if you look at it isolated, but you need to remember that the other team and all their teammates also are in this situation where all of their abilities have been enhanced. So it kind of balances this out. And what my opinion is why this is genius, why this could be the way forward for Overwatch, is because right now the team is in a situation situation.
one?
I'm starting to sound like Sean Connery. No, that's not like Sean
situation.
Connery at all. But it sounded really ridiculous. It sounded like I had a little stroke. We're in a situation where they can't please anybody anymore. Like the Sombra changes. I was in Queston's stream yesterday. Queston is one of my favorite streamers. I like the kid. He does an amazing job with his content. He is a Sombra main, and he's very opinionated about what Sombra should be like and how they should move forward with her, which is very different from any other content creator that talks about Sombra. But that's why I like him, because we're kind of on the same kind of. I kind of agree with his opinion. I think that Sombra does not need to be that little sneaky. And him and a lot of people that are kind of the same mindset love this Sombra. They have comments. They have their how do you say that, remarks that they have with this changes that they did to Sombra. But there's also a huge group of people that hate it with a passion, that really kind of think she's trash, that they ruined her. Same with Ramatra. People hate the new Ramatra, but I've had people coming up to me and going, man, I really enjoy this new Ramatra. He breaks through the shield. Makes me feel a little more, less like I have this one thing that I need to do, and it gives me a little more opportunities. I don't know. And then I noticed, I was thinking about that. I was like, look at this. Like they do a change and 50% of the community is pissed off and 50% of the community is happy. They have that with every change that they're doing. And that is not going to get any better with every single hero they add. And as we as players get better at these heroes and kind of competition gets a little, the level of competition rises. What if they give us the tools to adjust those heroes to what we personally like? If you want to pierce through that shield with Ramatra, you can pick that talent. But you'll miss out on another talent that is maybe going to give him a longer ultimate, or that is going to give him another boon that I can't think of right now. For Sombra, same thing. I see some people that told me, like, I want to see that original Sombra that just puts her translocator somewhere and then teleports to it when she's in trouble. Fine. But you can pick that, but you'll miss out on another talent that is maybe going to play more into some other playstyle where Virus is way more potent and stronger. So you get, the task that the balancing team has to do at that point is offer options. They're basically laying out a menu. Because if you think about it, it's like a restaurant. If the cook only makes one dish every single day, well, some people are going to be pissed off if they come to the restaurant because they don't eat fish. They don't like tomatoes. They're allergic to nuts. If you offer a menu and people can choose for themselves what they like best, you'll have a chance that more people are going to walk out happy. You need to, of course, make sure that all your dishes are good.
First of all, that I personally probably I like the customization options, but I have to add to that I am one of the more experienced players. I have had a few games recently of people who just started playing Overwatch.
Yeah.
They have played for a season or less, probably, and they're still very confused about the basics of the heroes. So, it might get I think it's a good idea. I think that's kind of the essence that we kind of need sometimes. But it might get more intimidating for newer players or people with less experience. That's
exactly.
Kind of the backside of it.
Yeah, you're 100% right with that. And I think that is the reason exactly why they're not going to force us to play that. That they're not going to make it quick play. Quick play is just going to be the heroes. And if you want to venture in there and if you want to try that out, if you want to go to that level, there will be a separate mode where you can do that. And if they notice over due time that 80% of the population, for the player population, is actually choosing to play with talents, yeah, at one point they'll swap it around. They'll make sure that no talent, or I don't know what they're going to call it, basic, is going to be a secondary mode versus the normal. What the norm is going to become is the talented mode. And I do think there's onboarding. Paladins did a really crappy job at that. With all due respect, I love playing Paladins once in a while, but their whole UI, their whole user experience was crap. And I can say that. I made a career out of UX. I am a UX designer by trade. I taught it at school. I think I earned my how do you say that? I earned the right. Yeah, no, I earned the right to have a strong opinion on shit like that. And I think there is an onboarding, there is a way forward with this where you can bring people into this on a very lightweight way, and that is a middle road where, look what Deadlock did. Deadlock has these pre-made builds that the community has made. This is the genius of Valve. Valve has a team of developers, and every single day with every feature they develop, they look at it and they go, should we develop it or should we leave it to the community to do this shit like that? Are we going to start making these predefined builds, or are we just going to open it up to the community and let these millions of people that play our game, let them do it? And,
I mean, they have like separate like builds for like this is the basic set, but then like that's mix of like what's the best set for it. Like there are always going to be like community pick sets, but like that's the like kind of the beauty of the Valve games, the customizability of it. I mean, you have games that are played to this day because of the amount of customizations you can have.
But see, that is the difference. That is where Blizzard can take some lessons from Valve. What Blizzard has World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft has historically Diablo. Same thing. I play Diablo and World of Warcraft. When I need a build, I open Wowhead, the website, and I go look for a build in a tab on my browser. So I have my screen open, and when I'm doing Diablo, I have to have my browser open because I need to check my build every time I level. What Valve does is like, it's just going to incorporate that in the game. All these builds that people post, we're just going to allow them to incorporate those builds. They can build their websites. People can look on those websites, but we're going to give people the means to incorporate those builds in the game without people don't have to open a tab. They don't even have to open a browser.
People customizing their game is always something that's going to keep them playing longer. I mean, look at games like Left 4 Dead 2. That game like is so old compared to other games. It's still played so much because of the amount of like customizability you can have. Like look at the Stream Workshop for like the amount of mods you can add into that game.
Yeah, exactly.
It is crazy.
I do have to say, Blizzard used to have that same philosophy, and they still kind of do, in the sense World of Warcraft has always had these platforms open, and I think there were some. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there were ever mods that allowed you to incorporate a build from a website. I'm not sure about that. They might have been. The whole MOBA genre came from a mod that was made on Warcraft 3. So they have had the history. So I do think there's ways around that where beginning players can just have like an automatic build that unfolds for them, where they don't have to do jack shit. I think they have bigger challenges. For instance, in this Halloween mode, we've only been playing the assault mode. In the sense of, wait, am I saying that right? Is it the assault that we're playing? Yeah, right. Where you basically get 5 rounds. You need to win 3 out of 5. You can't do that with hybrid, or in competitive, there's one moment where you switch sides, but that is not enough, bless you. There's not enough to kind of make that work and to allow you to pick your talent. So there's like a lot of other challenges that they need to work around. That they need to solve, but I mean, it's their job. They're doing it.
It's possible.
Yeah. So I think no, it's not Assault. Assault are the old maps. Why can't I like? Assault is 2 CP. What is the help me out? What is the other mode?
Flashpoint?
No. The one that we play on Antarctica and.
I don't know what that mode is. I frankly usually don't like a lot of maps on that mode, if I have to say so myself.
Yeah.
Like Antarctica is not one of my favorite maps.
The thing is... Go ahead.
Even though it's like themed very like I would like it, but no, I don't enjoy like the map layout too much.
It's just because I'm
you're just looking it up, it's fine.
No. I'm putting myself on the spot here, and then I start doubting. Like, what? Control. Jesus Christ.
Control. There we go.
That was okay. But yeah, I think there's a lot of challenges ahead. I think that is going to be interesting. But I do think I would be very, very surprised. Like, I'm not even kidding. I would be extremely surprised if this is not something that they're going to do something with, that something big is coming and that it is in that direction. It makes sense that something big is coming. Look, they scratched PvE. PvE is not going to happen. They need to replace that whole content, the thing that they wanted to do with that big gap needs to be filled with something different. And they're not going to do it with heroes, maps, modes. That is not the way forward. It's fun to see a new hero in game. We're always very excited when we see a new hero in the game, but this game needs to fundamentally change now.
No, that's true. It's interesting how they started dropping like lore here and there again. Like they didn't do it the past few seasons, but like this is the first season. Like it was quite noticeable that we're like dropping like hints of lore.
Yeah, and even hints to heroes, like with the way that they launched Juno with this teaser, and then the moment we got into season 12, we saw the pod standing there on Dorado, and we saw the meteor flying by. Everybody was curious about why is this blue meteor? What is this doing here? And then mid-season we saw the pod, and they basically rolled it out really slowly, and they're doing it again with the new hero.
Because like we had like at some point like a big standard about them releasing heroes. I think the one hero that really skyrocketed that was Sombra, like with her release, with like the entire hunt around her was just like the standard around like releasing new heroes. It was like up here.
Yeah,
and
funny thing is that people look back at that as remembering it as something good, and I know people at the time were so pissed off because it took so long. It took them like months to slowly roll that out. And people were pissed that it took so long. But, you know, that shows...
Like, people like figuring stuff out. People love, like, this little, like, hunts and stuff. So I kind of like that they're starting to do stuff like that again.
It's my favorite type of content to make. My Nostradamus content, where I start kind of theory crafting and kind of thinking about what the future might hold. And I piss a lot of people off with that. They don't agree with me.
That's going to happen no matter what you do.
Exactly. But that is, like, my favorite content to make, so... Anyways, Frozen, what do you think we kind of end this party? Kind of wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, that's it for today.
We're going to play some Overwatch.
Yeah, I'm going to edit some podcasts, I guess. And have some din-dins.
Din-dins. That sounds good.
First time I need to edit a podcast. Okay. Frozen!
Hell yeah.
Have a good time in your games. Thank you very much for joining me. And hopefully next week we'll be with 3 people again. At least. Yeah. Maybe 4. I'm actually,
we'll see.
I'm listening. I'm kind of building on this plan. The cast might be expanding a little bit over the next few weeks. Hannah is still working really hard on her health, and that is, we can only support her in her endeavors in that direction. LP is just a busy man.
Everyone leave some love for Hannah. We miss her.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's the podcast is always better with the more. I love talking to Frozen, but
you love yapping, but you can't just hear us 2 yap the entire time.
Exactly, it's just 2 silly Europeans. We need some extra voices in here, so I'm working on that. In 2 weeks, maybe we'll have someone new. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I'm working on that. Okay, that was it for today, guys. Thank you very much for listening. Frozen, take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.